Hello, my name is Faris, and I'll be presenting CPP.ai, which is non-invasive real-time monitoring of cerebral perfusion pressure at the MSIP Innovation Showcase. And so just a little bit about myself. I am a medical student at the Icahn School of Medicine. I am part of the HPIMS, the CBI, Carney Lab, and this work is also being done in collaboration with NEMAT. And a little bit about myself. I have a background in deep learning, machine learning, systems neuroscience, and computational biology and systems and statistical genetics. So I have a background both in computer science and in healthcare. I've been an EMT, and I really hope that this sort of project brings together the both of these. And what is CPP.ai? The way that I like to think about it is CPP.ai is the blood pressure cuff for the brain. So we know a wide range of things can affect cerebral perfusion pressure, such as stroke, epilepsy, severe traumatic brain injury, any form of traumatic brain injury, anyone who is on dialysis. These are all different people that can all be affected. They can all have anyone who's been just finished a surgery. These are all different people that can be affected by cerebral perfusion pressure. And sometimes someone will undergo a surgery, and during the surgery, or after the surgery, they'll wake up and they'll be paralyzed, or they'll forget something. Sometimes following a stroke, there'll be injury, and that'll lead to some severe neurological problems. And in the first rule of sort of neurological monitoring is that it's not necessarily the primary injury that's doing the damage, it's sort of the secondary injury. And so what that means is that when you get a stroke, the stroke does damage, but what does as much damage is the actual loss of blood pressure to the part of your brain affected by the stroke. And so we need to make sure that this is measured adequately. And if I wanted to measure it in you, I would have to measure it invasively. It means I have to actually stick something into your brain, a catheter into your brain, to measure the CPP. And this is a problem because you could bleed even more. There's a risk of infection. If I don't place it right, I'm not going to get an adequate reading anyways. And so what we're really hoping to do with CPP.ai is come up with a non-invasive means to measure cerebral perfusion pressure just in the same way that blood pressure is being measured. Blood pressure used to be measured by sticking a catheter into the heart, but there's no way anyone would measure blood pressure nowadays if they would have to stick a catheter into your heart. But now that we can measure it non-invasively, it's become the foundation of drugs, of food and nutritional habits, of a wide variety of technologies. And what we want to do is we want to do that except in the brain. And we want to measure blood pressure in the brain because we know that these issues with cerebral perfusion pressure, if not monitored, can lead to so many cognitive impairments. It can lead to so many neurological disorders. It can lead to paralysis, just things that substantially impact someone's life. And if we can go into a surgery, if we can go into any form of trauma, and we can measure this, and we can know that, oh, it's too low, I'll push it up. If it's too high, I'll push it down. If we know that these issues are going on, and we solve them in the moment, then the person can walk away from these injuries and maintain their quality of life. Maintain their quality of life cognitively, emotionally, physically. And that quality of life is really what matters to us. And with that, I'd like to thank you for your time.